I'm Amy, I am 36 years old. I had a spinal injury 10 years ago playing rugby, which has left me with deficits on the left side of my body. Post-injury, initially, my bladder and bowel slowed down considerably, but a lot of it was managed by medication and lots of bladder training, making sure that I went to the loo every 2 hours and lots of drugs to keep the bowel moving. And then 4 years ago, I got an infection in my spinal cord, which slowed that process to a stop. So my bladder and my bowel completely stopped working, and I was welcomed to the world of catheterization and bowel products, and definitely fell into a big black hole when it came to products and what to use, when to use it, what's good for you, what isn't good for you. The advice was limited, so there was lots of challenges there. I was in a ward with lots of older ladies who didn't face the same problems I was facing, and lots of nurses who didn't necessarily have the education that I needed, especially in those NHS settings. One of the first questions I asked was, how do I be intimate with a catheter? Where does it go? What happens? And nobody could give me those answers, because most of the people that I was talking to day to day worked with older people who weren't necessarily engaging in that anymore, so couldn't give me that information. And it took me to reach out to teammates and be vulnerable with people in my circle to say, I'm really struggling with this, what do you do? And using their experiences to find my own way. I played rugby for 20 years. Being in rugby clubs, being around the rugby family was a big thing for me and a massive part of my life. So when I initially had that injury, I remember lying on the pitch, looking up, and my dad, who was heavily involved in my rugby, looking over me, already on the phone to the paramedics, and just looking down with fear in his face. And I just said, "Not okay, am I?" And he said, "No." And I thought my world had ended right there and then. I couldn't move. I wasn't in any pain really, but I just knew I couldn't move, and I knew there was a problem. And I genuinely thought, I'm 27, I've not had children yet, I've not got married yet, I'm not in my own house. What am I gonna do? Life now is gonna look very different. And in the days and months in the hospital afterwards, lots of things were happening around me and to me without explanation. And I just thought, this is my life now. Everyone is going to do everything for me, and I've just kind of got to sit here and ride it out. And that's not true at all, actually. I was very fortunate that I had a very supportive partner that said, I'm not going anywhere, I'm here, we're doing this. I then decided to carry a baby, which was an amazing experience, very difficult, very challenging, but amazing experience that I wanted to do. And if you tell me I can't do something, I'm telling you I can. And for me, when I was told, well, it probably wouldn't be a good idea, I was like, then I'm gonna have a baby. So we did the baby thing, we got married, we bought a house, and I have a full-time job and a wonderful support network. And actually, the only thing I don't do now that I did before was play on the grass. And whilst I miss that so much, I have had experiences I wouldn't have had as an able-bodied person. I've met people I would never have met, I'd have never have crossed paths with. And I've found two incredible sports. So I play wheelchair rugby league and I play para ice hockey. And they are like playing rugby. The people are the same type of community, they're the same type of people. We're all a little bit mad, and actually, you're in an environment where you're with people who have shared similar journeys or have had similar experiences. So you can roll into the changing rooms and go, I've just wet myself, and nobody bats an eyelid. And so for me, pre-injury, post-injury, I thought my life was over. At 27, I thought that was it. But actually, it's not been. And I found my people, I found my sport, and my life's continued to be great. And there is light at the end of the tunnel post-injury. There will be challenges, there will be struggles, there will be moments when you're sat in your bathroom covered in wee or having had an accident and needing a shower, but you will get there. There is light at the end of the tunnel. It does get easier, it does get simpler, but reach out to people, reach out to the forums, reach out to your friends, family who may not even use products but are there to support you emotionally. The first time I irrigated on my own, my mum was the other side of the bathroom door just to make sure I was okay, because I was so terrified from my first experiences of using irrigation. So just having that moment to say to somebody, actually I'm struggling, and it's okay to say that. And it's okay to be like, this is brand new and I don't know what I'm doing with all these tubes, cables, bags, whatever. People are a little bit further along the journey in every stage, and you will find those people. So use them, use that, because we're all willing to share. We're all willing to share our experiences and be like, don't use that product, this happened. Don't use that product, use this product, it worked for me for X, Y, and Z. And then people can make informed choices because they've got user experience of the product.